I found out about your festival through an online research. I did some research about festivals who are into video art, who are into experimental film, and who are into dance, mixture video films. And I read about your festival and the description also with what you mentioned just before of transgression of genres, the social political boundaries, the works in different categories or in non-category at all. And this resonated with me, and I felt that's an interesting festival for this film. And I submitted then, and I was very happy and honored that it worked and that the film also resonated with an audience in Venezuela. Since I don't know much about Venezuela, so it was very lucky for me that I could send it to you, and I just found out online. It was, let's say, chaotic, how it came to life. And well, there are many stories. It actually started from a bicycle trip. And I think I wrote it in the end credits that I wanted to go with my bicycle and travel to Abidjan from Zurich. And that's 6,000 kilometers. It's really a long way. And I was in a state of feeling very free without responsibilities and a little bit of money in my pocket. And I felt like I'm just going to go. I don't know how many weeks or months or a year it's going to take. And I'm going to take a camera with me. And I also didn't know if I want to, or if I'm going to shoot a film. I just had a really good camera and a good sound set with me. And so I started to cycle in Zurich. I went to France. And then I took the ship to Morocco. I cycled in Morocco. And at the end, maybe after 2 or 3 months, I slowly got the feeling that this film, which I'm going to shoot, might just be about people I meet and around the topic of my body and the body of other people's and the thoughts and the poetics of the body and the transience of the body. So slowly I met people. I met many, many people during this voyage, and I could spend just to sleep at some place, or I could just eat with someone since I was alone on my bicycle. And I also had a lot of solitude and time to think. And when I met people, we started to talk about the fading of our beings or of our body. And when we came into a relationship of trust and curiosity, I asked if you want to do a scene for this film. And so this film was it's a selection now of 7 scenes. Actually, on my journey, I did many more, but not that many more. And they all came together around this journey. The first chapter was made in south of Senegal, and I was also meeting a friend there, and he showed me on his smartphone this creature, which is now in the film. And I was blown away, and it was just a little smartphone shaky video, and I was so blown away by this creature that I asked him if I can meet and see this. And it turned out that this is a tradition which is happening in many villages in Casamance. It's the part of South Senegal. And we went to that village and asked if we can meet this creature and if I'm a filmmaker and we would do something. And I also asked who is doing this. And the answer was, the question is not who is doing it. It's not a human being. It is a creature. It is a spirit. And it is a secret to be guarded. Even if we make a film, the secret has to be guarded. And I can meet that creature. It'll come out of Le Bois Sacré. That means the holy forest. I will not go into that forest. The creature will come. We can do the film. And the creature will go back there. So it was a lot about guarding that secret. And myself also, I felt like, wow, that's so beautiful. And, the moment I saw that creature, it's so transcendental. And at the same time, hypernatural, but still superficial. And it gave me some humility or some understanding of, as they say, also it's about animism, and it's about the ensoulment of the things around us. It's about the soul in the trees, the soul in the rivers, the soul in the sky. And this creature is actually a symbol for the living ghosts or the living souls around us. And it resonated deeply with me. And I learned about, these values in this culture in the Casamas, which I really loved. And I had the chance to dive into this and to try to support these values they have with this creature and this film. It's the last scene with the willing, the flower. And the mother, the child talks to his mother again. And it's actually a reference. The last scene is a reference to the first scene. The first scene is called, it's also Mother Earth. And in the last scene, this child's voice is talking to Mother Earth, or actually writing a letter. And for me, I mean, I'm just talking about myself. This film, I want to really point out, can be seen in many different ways, and everybody has its own interpretation, and they're all valid. And even we who collaborated together have different meanings in these scenes. So for me, this last scene, this was actually the only scene I shot in solitude. And I was on a bicycle, and I saw this little tornado creating on the streets, and there was a lot of wind coming in, and the storm was in the air, and I was a little scared because everybody left the street and went into their houses, and I was still on that bicycle, and it was very windy. And then I observed this little tornado creating in the same place again and again. And I saw these leaves, these beautiful white leaves, and also the plastic, which was somehow beautiful, but this strange mix of human waste and organic beauty. And that was actually almost the first scene I shot from the entire movie. And when I was seeing that film in the editing phase, I slowly, these lines, which are now the poem, it came just actually to my mind while watching it again and again. And it's something quite personal there. It's about grief and mourning. And I've gone through a separation. And the sentence of, I was falling, but I learned how to dance, is actually it's connected to me having a big, deep period in my life, falling really deep. Losing someone in my life, in the relationship, and but in that moment, somehow I started to dance because I was sad. I tried to dance the sadness away. It didn't work. Sometimes it worked, sometimes not. So I saw in these petals the same story, which could be mine. And as the petals have a soul for the Casamas animism culture, which I resonate, I imagine the petal actually falling out of the flower, and the flower means the relationship or the family. And it's actually stiff in that flower, but the moment it falls, it makes new friends, and it has to move and dance. So it starts to dance with this plastic and all the other petals. That's my symbolic image for this scene. But of course, everyone sees something else, and it's not the only one, the only truth. Yeah. If I would choose, I would call it experimental. But all the categories you mentioned are also they also fit for me, and also fiction. Sometimes it's a little more fiction than documentary.
Yes.
There is dance, there is art. It's all of them and none at the same time. Music video, it's actually also a music video, one scene. It's all of them, I would say. I wouldn't put it into one. My films are very different. And in general, I don't think much about genre. Or when I start creating, the genre just happens. It's not that I start and I think this is going to be the genre. And then it ends up somewhere blending, bending between, drifting, changing. Yeah, so the genre for me is actually a source of inspiration, but there is no obligation to follow. But I guess many of the filmmakers have that. But subconsciously, often we have still the genre we would like to do. But in this particular, in Déjà, I really was completely free. I didn't know at all how it's going to unfold, or what genre will it be. And yeah, in the category of experimental, everything is possible. So I felt like it's going to happen anyway, and I can do whatever I like. And the mix is also the strength I see in retrospect. I would like to share the following, and I also start with my experience with this film. For me, this film was also freeing myself from normal production methods, from trying to write a script, and then going into funding process, working with the production company, all very complicated, long-term processes. And I was stuck in many projects because I didn't get along with it. So this film was freeing myself and just going out and starting without knowing where to go. So that would be my message if you are the audience or a filmmaker or a poet or working wherever. If you feel like you would like to express something, just start it. And really, don't try to overthink it, because the things will unfold the way you do it. And not being it alone in your room thinking about it will not, doesn't benefit at least me. So that would be my message. Even if you don't have a big camera or whatever, the beauty is just to go out, get into relation with some others, and explore that relation in a film, probably. Thank you for the values of your festival. I think it's important, especially in a tendency of streaming and going very popular and having centralized platforms like Netflix, who have a huge power on what people see. And I think a festival like yours is an important part to have a different kind of an approach to cinema. And that's what I feel in your festival. You promote a different kind of cinema. And that's very important for the whole cinema world in general, to have platforms like yours. And I really hope you can get the funding you need, or you find some ways how to live through it in other ways. Just as this film was for me, the freeing of trying to get money and just starting something. And I was lucky that something beautiful came out. So I hope you can also continue to promote this art cinema and the connection of all the arts, because I strongly resonate with your values. And I'm really honored and grateful that you have shown the interest in this work.